I'm Cindy Pankoff. We're here at my creative place, and today I want to show you how to deal with storing your syringe. When you first buy a syringe, they come in the package with a yellow cap on them, and that's fine for traveling, but as far as storage goes, that's when the issues come up. So normally when you get the syringe out of the package and you need to put a nozzle on it, the nozzles come in several different sizes, and depending on whichever one you want to use, you'll take the yellow cap off, press the nozzle on until it's securely pressed in place. Most of them are just a pressure fit, and then you're going to push the syringe all the way down until it fills the nozzle up completely. And once the clay gets all the way down at the end, then you have to make sure that you keep it nice and moist, because as you're working, as you know, metal clay dries out. So we have to keep that end hydrated, otherwise the clay is just going to clog up the tip. And that happens really, really quickly. When you have that tiny little bit of clay, it only takes a couple minutes out for it to start to clog. So as you're working, what I like to do is I like to store my syringe in a little cup like this with just a tiny bit of water in the bottom, and that little bit of water is just going to make sure that the end of the clay stays moist, and it's not going to cause me problems like it would if I had filled the jar. If you fill it, then water can collect up here at the end of the nozzle, and then when you go to work, water can drip down and get on your piece and mess up everything you're doing. So if you just put a tiny little bit of water in the bottom, then that's great for working. Now the downside of this for long-term storage is the water, if you leave it in there for more than a day or two, is going to start wicking up into the syringe and actually changing the consistency of it, making it kind of gushy and soft. Another problem with storing it in water is if the syringe can actually start leaking out the bottom, and it'll just end up spilling out into the bottom of your container, so you end up wasting a bunch. Now, a lot of people will officially say, well, when you're done working with the syringe, then take this nozzle off, put your yellow cap back on, and then clean this nozzle out and save it for using it later. Okay, I don't like that for two reasons. Number one, I'm lazy, and those are a pain to clean out. And number two, there's a lot of clay in there, and it's expensive. So even if I was recycling that and putting it in my paste jar, I don't want to waste all of that nice, beautiful consistency of the syringe clay. So if you're going to need to put it away for a week or a month or more, then you have to, deal with storing it in a different way. So what I like to do is take a piece of plastic wrap, and then I just fold that into quarters, so you end up with a 4-layer thick piece of plastic. And then I'm going to take and put a couple drops of water in there, just a few, and then I'm going to wrap that around the nozzle nice and firmly, and then I'm going to put it back in the pouch, and I'm going to add a little bit of wet paper towel and put that in there and zip it back up. And it can stay like that for months. If you find that you're not going to get back to using it again, then what you can do is open the zipper back up, re-moisten your paper towel, take the little cone of plastic off, put a couple more drops in there, and that can keep you going indefinitely. So that's my tip for storing syringe. I hope you find it helpful, and if you want to see more about what we do here, you can go to www.cpcreativeplace.com. Thanks.